Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha if you are new here, and I thought today's video would be on insecurities and feeling good enough. So basically, insecurities are aspects of ourselves that we have not validated due to either growing up or an effort to be accepted, right? So oftentimes when people don't feel good enough, or they feel insecure, or they don't feel good about themselves, they focus more on how they are lacking within their life, or how they are lacking within themselves. So typically they try to make themselves feel very small in efforts to make up for their insecurities. Often, sometimes other people, when they feel insecure, they make themselves very bold to kind of make up for their perceived insecurities. Everyone on this planet is insecure about something. However, to what degree you will let that consume your life, or what degree you will let that control your life, is up to you. So typically, a lot of times insecurity can manifest into different disorders or different diseases. So when I think about insecurities, I oftentimes associate it with the negative dialogue within our brains. So our mind and our body are always wanting to be accepted. And when a person always wants to feel accepted all the time, they typically go into a self-betrayal. So I definitely believe that there is a balance between accepting yourself and not so much caring about what other people think, and then too much wanting acceptance. So when acceptance becomes too hard to come by, or you just feel like you're never accepted, you either become very more insecure with yourself, or a more positive aspect is you start to make choices that go or align with your inner being. So I use the word inner being, or your inner world, and that basically means that your personal choice and you as your purest self, or your purest individual. So oftentimes we associate with our identity. So a short, phrase or sentence that could define identity is basically the cloak or facade that we give other people, or what we want people to see, or what we associate with. So when it comes to insecurities, what exactly are you associating with, or what do you make this mean? So if I'm insecure about, let's see, the way that I look, or if my work ethic, right? What do I make that mean about myself? And what kind of negative aspect am I associating it with? So when it comes to insecurity, you want to try to make it more of a positive aspect about yourself. Also, since we all tend to focus more on like the negative about ourselves, I like to use the word hot and cold, right? So when cold, to me, feels like distant, detached, very rigid, whereas warm is more welcoming, loving, and compassionate. So I like to view people based on a scale, right? So if you view someone that's very cold, they're usually really stoic, detached, maybe emotionally unavailable, or if someone is really warm, it leaves more room for availability and openness. So everyone has like a cold side of themselves, and everyone has a warm side of themselves. So it's very helpful to focus your more attention on more of the warmness about yourself, or your positive traits, or your brilliance, or what you're really good at it, or your purpose. So if you're really good at, and I also want to take note that the warmness about yourself is more of an aspect rather than aesthetically, or like a physical trait about yourself. It's more of maybe your personality is very warm, or your ability to communicate with other people, or your ability to make decisions that are for the well-being of other people. Like, these are positive traits, and I like to use them as warmness or warm traits about yourself, because they are more, it leaves more room for more positive associations with yourself. So you can still acknowledge the maybe some insecurities that you have about yourself, but if you focus more attention on like that warm feeling, it's going to have more of an expanding feeling within yourself, and it's going to be more of a loving feeling as well. So when that inner voice or that inner dialogue kind of creeps in, you can still acknowledge that, yes, I hear you, I understand you, but you want to focus more of the attention on what you're brilliant at. So the goal of this exercise is to acknowledge that inner voice, that you hear it. You don't have to necessarily agree with it, but you hear it, and then it's kind of it meshes into this warmness or this feeling about yourself, so that you can acknowledge that you have cold parts about yourself, and then you have warm parts of yourself, so that way that everyone is seen and heard and acknowledged as well. And this is also a really great skill to develop, because it is a purpose of why you should feel good about yourself, and why you should acknowledge your insecurities, but don't let them define you, and don't let them ruin your life. It's very helpful to also validate your insecurities, because all insecurity is something about yourself that was not validated either by growing up, your peers, or yourself. And so today, as an adult, you get to do that. So it's very helpful to validate your insecurities as well. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I will leave my Spotify. I am on Spotify. I do podcasts as well as guided sessions. If you would like to book a personal session with me, I will leave the info in the description box below. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Bye.